dear. Well, game number one goes in their favor, and they get to pick map number 2 as CE have opted for first pick. We're going to Sky Temple.
Very interesting, by the way, Towers of Doom was not banned here. Oftentimes, teams who face CE will ban that battleground because they really, really like to play on it, and they normally perform pretty well on it as well. But it is the one's choice here this time. CE said, you know what, we're going to focus on first ban, first pick, rather than picking the battleground. And Sky Temple it is, and I think, Thatcher, that is probably one of the more successful maps for TheOne. So if CE really want to turn it around, they better show their A-game.
They will have to, but for now, they're going to start off by removing some of those game-changing heroes. The bunker can absolutely deny a huge amount of burst, so getting rid of Blaze very early makes sense. Also, the fact that Hugo has been playing this very well. Now they have Maiev, they have Genji, they have Deckard Cain to remove, so they get rid of that this time.
Yeah, easy ban, by the way. After you got pummeled over and over again by CJZ and his Deckard Cain, you know, just take it out of the equation. Genji no longer available. It looks like, you know, Diablo, although being that super solid warrior that we know him to be, he's taken a little bit of a beating here over the last couple of games we've seen him in, especially with Zhuyu. Not really able to control the Demon Lord as much as he would have liked to. Let's see if he can basically redeem himself here. 1-1 is now minimizing the damage that they've taken. They really need that win.
They just first picked Diablo when Maiev was up.
True.
The one just didn't even pick Maiev. What's happening to Maiev?
Either the teams are forgetting about her, and they're literally just realizing, hey, oh wait, she's actually available, or both teams don't really feel comfortable, you know, picking her because it takes a little bit of mechanical execution to make her work. Yep, she's just being ignored.
Yeah, they're ignoring Maiev. Wow. All right, well, we'll see if that works out for them as we enter into the ban phase. Wouldn't be surprised to see her banned at least.
Let's see. I mean, TheOne, they don't really have any combo heroes to enable her, but oftentimes Maiev doesn't even need that. So they are the ones to potentially pick it first, right? So they don't even need to ban it if they want to force this mind game onto CE.
As we see the Sergeant Hammer removed.
60% win rate, by the way, on Karzim Tetcher.
Nice, that's pretty good. 25 on the Haka, slightly worse. So we'll have to see if CE can buff that a bit. They're going to remove Urel, so Maiev is let through. But they wanted to remove someone who can really lane against that Dahaka.
Does Hugo play Maiev? It seems like a hero that is perfectly made for him.
Hero. It's been a Meng hero in the past.
It's been a Meng hero. There we go. Yeah, my mistake. For some reason, I thought she was a solo laner.
Yeah. I mean, you can play her as a solo laner, so they could absolutely adjust if he's had the practice on it.
Meng on the left-hand side in those webcam shots you've seen right now. They're still hesitant. They're still not willing to show all of their trump cards.
Indeed. I mean, that's a double tank.
That it is.
Interesting.
Wow, we've never seen Murat and Garrosh together before.
I do not believe we have. Who's solos out of that? Unless neither of them are solo. And this is all bait to see if CE are prepared.
Keshi on the bottom left looks a little bit confused as well, I think. So I'm not sure if that was planned or some sort of communication error here. Let's see.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think CE are prepared for what might be this last pick because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the Illidan.
Really?
Come on.
Oh, dude.
Give it to
Hugo
me.
bringing it back.
Give it to me. Oh, Malthael. Alright, fine. It's like a really good hero. Also, it's Meng playing it, so I guess.
Hugo not getting his baby boy Malthael is Keshi on it. Well, that's swapping all over the place.
They're swapping around. Oh, God. Don't overswap. We've had that happen before in HGC, where teams either forget to swap or overswap just while messing around.
Honestly, I think the communications are all over the place by TheOne. I'm not sure if this is the trap they wanted to go for. This hectic swapping also indicating that there's a little bit of confusion going on. So unless that is all part of their plan and they now figure out things, this might be a little chaotic. I'm pretty sure it's CE. Like, I wouldn't even know how to play against that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen this combo of the Muradin Garrosh.
Okay. So Garrosh was the solo laner or Muradin?
Not in pro play. It was not pro play, and neither was a solo laner. Yes, it was in Hero League. and it was by the enemy team, and I was like, well, this is awesome. We pick percentage damage and we win. What happened was Garrosh would Wrecking Ball someone with the increased range, and then Muradin would Haymaker them into the base. We lost that game. It's really dumb as a combo, but it's possible. Like, they need damage anyway, considering.
That's the question basically right now, right? Who's going to be the main tank and who's going to play as the more aggressive bruiser? Are we going to see a Decimate Garrosh? Are we going to see a Haymaker Muradin?
Ooh, Decimate Garrosh is something we have not seen in like pro play ever, I believe. I'm sure, like, maybe someone played it in another region, but I've never seen it.
I mean, in my mind, images of Decimate Garrosh plus, you know, Malthael putting it in with the Tormented Souls is trying to build up here, but let's see if the teams are actually going to play it out the way we're just imagining things right now. I think in a perfect world, it would rather be the Muradin on the Bruiser because he has been played with that aggressive style and the Haymaker before, right? He can actually hold his own pretty well in solo lane as well. Great self-sustain, great CC, great escapes. So I presume it will be Garrosh on the main tank role and Muradin going for a little bit more of an aggressive style.
I would agree. That would be my assumption anyway. We are starting Garrosh off with a Groundbreaker. That's normal. Same with the Perfect Storm on Muradin. But Muradin can build into, like, what is that 300% damage on a single target talent he has? I can't remember.
That should be Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike sounds about right. So yeah, could be going for that, just going for isolation stuff. Garrosh throws someone away, Muradin just slams them with the Stormbolt, and then Thunderstrikes them, maybe a Haymaker for good measure for an execution. Could be what we see. If not, this could just be all about long duration fights. They do actually go in very aggressively, get denied. Toss comes out actually a little bit too aggressive by KTY, but he will survive here.
God, that was... Oh, wait a minute. Diablo actually going deep there by accident. Yeah, but that was not a good trade for the one, I believe. They took an unnecessary amount of extra damage from that tower. They weren't able to secure the kill. The tongue was on point there by KTY, so overall a pretty strong hold, pretty good defense there by CE. Now they just want to make sure that they don't miss too much experience in lane. Hugo in the meantime getting a little bullied by a Luful. Decides it was time to turn around things here, and actually just trying to get that grip on him. Doesn't manage to do so.
Zhu continues to rotate, sees if he can catch someone. So yeah, this comp could all be about sustain, considering they have a Malthael. If Malthael goes for Black Harvest, then we know it's a sustain comp. Considering he's not the one in the solo lane currently, so might just be the case.
Yeah, the lanes are basically all over the place right now. Muradin and Garrosh are both trying to land some ganks somehow. Nice tongue here, by the way, by KTY to get that one Siege Giant off the one a little closer, and to deal with it a little closer as well. Needs to use the Essence, though, because otherwise he would have been in a pretty dangerous situation there. The stun teleport should be available, though, not interrupted, so Alufal is fine for now.
For now, he is. His team has a lot of slows to empower him once we get to the late game. Diablo Lightning Breath, the Thrall Earthquake. There are options for days as both teams hit level 4 pretty much simultaneously. We see CDR on a heal for Garrosh, not going for the Indomitable here.
Yep, that it is. No Indomitable. That's a good point. Let's see, actually, there's an abundance of crowd control effects available, actually, on the side of CE, like Haga, Thrall, Diablo. So that's a really peculiar, interesting
Black Harvest. Boom. Black Harvest coming in for Malthael. It's all about the sustained team fight here. They're just going to try and outlast CE.
Are we calling for Decimate?
I still don't think so, because Taunt's really good. It could happen. There's a small chance, but I am really feeling the Taunt is just too strong to give up.
But we're definitely calling the Tormented Souls, right? That build,
absolutely.
Tormented Souls with that build just makes a whole lot more sense. Look at all that damage mitigation, by the way, coming in from 365, and that Earth ally against the basic attack, super solid. Now, Muradin, as we hinted towards earlier, could very well just go for the Thunderstrike here. Haymaker Thunderstrike, you isolate someone and you blast it to pieces. You'd be surprised of that, you know, incoming damage of a Thunderstrike Muradin.
Yeah. This absolutely has to be a Tranquility Malfurion for this composition. Like, Twilight Dream's really solid, but your team does still need sustain, so you have to be careful around it, do you? Gets tossed in, finds Malfurion as the escape route. Very interesting there.
Meanwhile, we see a Luful dominating and bullying Hugo in that top lane. Phoenix is one of the few heroes who can actually keep Malphite in check. In general, you want to play ranged heroes against that Malphite because melee heroes are just so susceptible to getting hit by his throwing shade, by the overall damage of his auto attacks.
This is actually just the value of any ranged solo laner. There are so many good melee solo laners at this point. Being able to stutter step and kite them can always be a victory condition, or at least a victory in the lane. That is the attack speed slow on auto attacks for Garrosh that I doubt anyone in existence knows the name of, except maybe the person who made the hero.
Yeah, maybe a level 99 Garrosh player knows it. I certainly don't.
It is, found it, Oppressor. And it's spell power reduction, not auto attacks. So basic attacks reduce target spell power by 40%. That's going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, but 2.5 seconds as well. That's actually a pretty considerable, you know, amount of time. But who do you really want to shut down the ability power for? Diablo, maybe? Thrall?
Literally anyone on that team except Karazim. You're going to have a good time with.
Yeah. I guess if you landed on Phoenix just before he used the salvo, that could actually be huge.
I mean, the best option is just attack everyone in a row.
Yeah.
Just hit everyone one at a time and just get it that way. We now see the anti-healing for Malthael. Looking good there.
Execute trouble. The anti-healing reduces his self-healing from the Frostbolt Resilience. He got the chain CC onto Malthael, but Hugo remains alive.
Alufal comes forward, though. Hugo will almost certainly fall to the Arsenal City.
No way.
Oh my god, he got out. Geshi will fall, though, but 365 goes down.
Roots.
Meantime, ZJZ comes in with the heals. The roots were good as Meg comes in from the side. Scatter does not land. And CE take control of this. Meg's already used natural agility. When is the drag off cooldown? It isn't.
I am speechless by how well CE played that, but also Meng coming in like a wrecking ball. Natural agility to victory. He gets, you know, a pretty good entrance, but there was not enough damage left. If Meng had arrived a little bit earlier, I think that fight would have been a different one. But it really seemed to me like this damage pre-level 10 for the one just wasn't really there. C1 CE basically overstayed their welcome a little bit too much, in my opinion, but they weren't punished because there was not really any punching power for the one yet.
Not yet. They need those level 10s in order to really set their comp up, and they are close. But CE making the most of their advantage. That fight pre the second temple phase is a big deal as CE begins to put pressure onto the temple, but they need to start pushing bot lane to really get value if they want this fort.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, level 10 is about to hit for the one, and this is where I truly feel like their composition could start to kick in, right? I'm so excited to see what kind of heroic abilities we're going to see on Garrosh and Muradin. Decimate, there it is!
Wow, Dragon Strike.
What is going on?
Tranquility at least. Please, Tormented Souls, Hugo. He goes for last right because he thinks he can kill off Diablo here, but he's just going to die. Salvo just...
Oh my goodness!
Oh boy, Hugo's in full retreat because that just happened. We do see Haymaker, and yeah, this is just, I mean, unless we see the world's best Haymaker, this is a boss for CE.
This is 100% boss there for CE. I don't even know what happened. Look at that 4 versus 5 engage. I think not even the one themselves expected to die that quickly. The Sundering didn't even connect, it completely whipped. But that flaming breath, the lightning breath hitting all 4 members consistently, there was just no getting away from that.
It set up the salvo perfectly. And as such, CE, they now have a 2-level lead. They're looking very strong right now. That was unusual, to say the least. The one, not a great fight angle. Throw not happening. Zhu able to bait it out by the turning around at the last second.
Okay, nice throw actually over the wall with those slows available and the root. I think this must be a kill on Diablo. No, he's gonna make it. No Tormented Souls, by the way.
Yeah, already said, last right. He tried to pick it because they were engaging on Diablo the first time, and I was thinking he was like, oh, he's just going for the kill on Diablo, but then his entire team died and Diablo lived. So, sad times.
Okay, the one, at least they got rid of the souls here of Zhu Yu. Diablo is now going to be a little easier to kill. The boss was taken, of course, by CE, got a little bit of value in the bottom lane. It's by no means game over yet for the one, especially considering the fact that they still have a fort in the middle, which could absorb some more tower shots, some more temple shots, sorry. But yeah, CE in a commanding position after that beautiful team fight in the bottom.
They are indeed, and as such, they continue to extend their lead via mercenary camps to put pressure on the map. just in time for the next temple, bot and mid, so they actually have to stay far away. Oh, they're going to delay this. Karazim holding this for as long as possible.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to waste any time here. Looks good. TheOne posturing up in the bottom, trying to get a little bit of preemptive damage done with those mercenaries and minions. Unfortunately, Malfurion can no longer heal mercenaries. It's been around for quite a while, so those mercenaries are probably going to fall eventually. 13 is just so close. You need to be a little more careful. Hugo on farming duty.
Clearing up as much as he can, as mid-temple appears to be the focus. Here TY creeps forward, Dwarf Toss immediately used. Keshi is looking to see if Phoenix wanted to step up any further and get a quick flip, but Alufal, too mobile right now, not being locked down. Hugo has arrived to rejoin the team.
Yeah, we don't see the Thunderstrike, by the way, as we talked about earlier for merging. He's going for the good old classic killing static, trying to stay alive here for a little bit longer.
Lightning Breath used very early, Sundering, pretty good, parts of the team. Salvo comes out. How are they going to be able to deal with this? Oh, I was about to say Tranquility's active, but Malfurion is super dead. Here comes the Dragon Strike, pretty reasonable, but is completely alone as Garrosh got destroyed. And yeah, it's hard to say anything about this game because the fight happens and TheOne die, and that's it. Everything they do is super ineffectual at this stage.
I mean, not only is their draft balls bananas crazy, but also their communication and their coordination just doesn't really seem to be there. That's the second or third time Meng on that Hanzo wasn't even there to begin with. And they need the Dragon Strike, they need his damage so desperately because they're rocking a double main tank composition with Malthael. So first damage is not really there. Diablo can basically do whatever he wants to in that battlefield. So at least they need to stick together a little bit more, TheOne that is.
They really do. They need to find a way to make this, and I don't know how they can bring this back, honestly. They're so far behind at this point. Still only 2 levels, but they're losing literally everything there. Excuse me. Their keeps are currently under assault. They might get a kill on Juyu, who drops a lightning breath on the way out last right, and they do kill him. They're getting these nice isolation kills, and then losing everything else by Muradin.
Oh my goodness, that is actually the one chance for TheOne to maybe win a team fight for once. The anti-healing, the slows coming through from the Decimate. He gets licked, he gets shot at the salvo. Huge damage onto Keshi and Hugo. Look at Phoenix, Alufal dominating and destroying the backline of TheOne.
Meng will escape. Malfurion might not be so lucky. Karazim chases him down, but with the Plasma Cutter not landing, there's no slows, and he's able to escape. Meng actually might be in trouble. I thought he would get out, but he's taken a long way home. Dodging one. Uh-oh.
Sayonara.
Oh, tries to leap over, tries to escape, gets shut down by Dahaka, and now this bottom keep is going to die.
Yep, that bottom keep is a goner for sure. If the Temple doesn't get it, I'm pretty sure CE could basically just start a sneak attack at any given point. Yep, the Temple doesn't get it, so it's pretty much dead anyways. One Siege Giant cap left unattended. The next boss, this one is not going to live for long here.
Well, looks like CE might actually be able to keep themselves a point. This is good news. I really thought this was going to be a 2-0, but this draft is a step too far by TheOne so far, unless they can bring it back, as they're actually going to be on even talents very shortly once they soak to level 16. If they have a plan, now's the time to do it, because everything so far is beginning to fall apart.
Yeah.
They found Juyu, toss, stun. This is how they've got kills in the past. Separating out Juyu, cleansing touch is used. Lightning breath denied with the haymaker, but everyone's pulling back. Silence on Malfurion. He's going to fall to Dahaka. Actually, he will escape.
Yeah, and the Dragon Strike, when the fight is over already, that basically tells you the story. I was actually watching Meng on Hanzo there for a long period of time. I was actually waiting for Dragon Strike to be used, but they were probably thinking, you know what, we don't want to fully commit before level 16 hits. But then they were actually the one who got baited in by Dahaka. The Dragon Strike not having any value. I guess that's the thing to say about TheOne. No value. No matter where you look, Muradin, Garrosh, nobody really performed like they should have.
Whatever the plan was, the synergy was not there, and with that, CE are able to take game number 2. Haymaker is used, Hill is delaying, but with Hugo here, no Tormented Souls, no AoE, too many heroes alive, and game number 2 is taken by CE. CE and TheOne both achieve a point.
I want to see the reactions of TheOne now. I want to see if they look confused, if they're smiling in disbelief, because that seemed to me like a messed up game in the draft from start to finish. Hugo not looking to move there in the middle. Unfortunately, we don't get any more images from them. But yeah, from start to finish, like, I couldn't help but have the impression of this is kind of not what they wanted to go for. Then we see this wonky Garrosh build that I've never seen before in pro play. It looked to me like Keshi wasn't prepared to play Garrosh.
I liked the idea behind the Garrosh build. I can't help but feel with a Taunt it might have been better. Like, the auto-attack style, going for maximum sustain with Tormented Soul, so basically everyone is trying to stay alive as long as possible. I don't mind that. I don't hate that idea. And then they deviated and went for Decimate, which didn't work out for them because they didn't have the survivability of the Silence, which would reduce the ability damage.
And it's so crazy to say the survivability wasn't there for Garrosh and Muradin, but those heroes are tanky as hell, don't get us wrong, guys. But if there's nothing to really back them up with, like you put no pressure onto the enemy team, you don't have enough sustain for them, then there's just not much they can do. And that's exactly what happened here. You could see CE just walk in, Diablo being an absolute dominator on the battlefield. No tank shredding, no pressure whatsoever. They could just do whatever they wanted to. And Lufel just had a heyday on that Phoenix.
With that, TheOne, they're going to be achieving a solid single point, meaning that they will be on 6. Meaning that now they are 2 points behind SPT. SPT beginning to create some distance, whereas Challenge, CE, they're on 5 points. Which means they're 1 point ahead of the A-team. So that's good news.
This result is pretty much awesome for RPG as well, because that means that neither of their straight-up rivals is going to make that big pounce, that big leap to follow them. So they should have a pretty nice lead over them now, right?
They have a 1 point lead over TheOne, as RPG were on 4 points before. They go up to 7, with TheOne moving up to 6. So the current score table, as it stands, is BTG on 9, Super Perfect Team on 8, the RPG on 7, and TheOne on 6.
All right. And of course, a lot of those games are only about to take place in a few hours from now, guys. We have another game of RPG, another game of SPT. BTG have yet to play, the strongest team in the league right now.
Yeah, they're one game. I would like to point out they're only 1 point ahead of the rest, but they're a series down. They haven't played the series that the rest of these teams have yet, so they could, in theory, move 4 points ahead of everyone again.
And who are they facing today? Was it the KT team?
BTG are playing KT.
KT, wow. On paper, that looks like an almost guaranteed win for BTG, unless KT can pull off a miracle here and maybe even take 1 or 2 maps away from them. But look at that, 19-3. I don't know what TheOne was thinking here. Probably one of the strangest, weirdest games I've seen from them in a long time. Lufel, as we said, dominating on that Phoenix. He was untouchable. They didn't have the range. They didn't have the initiation, the one that is to reach him. And essentially, you know, when you have an uncontested Phoenix, he is bringing the pain.